Now, it's half a century since SS Windrush sailed into the history books. On board, the first of thousands of Caribbean families who helped rebuild Britain after the Second World War. Now the hunt is on to find those passengers in time for a big anniversary party in June.
50 years ago, Cecil Holness was a man chasing a dream, one of 500 young Jamaicans coming to England, full of hope of finding a better life.
I've been traveling the countries years ago, but this is the place I wanted to know, darling London. This is the place for me.
After a 4-week voyage, the SS Windrush docked at Tilbury on a warm June day half a century ago. The men and women on board with expectations of a job and decent wages on their mind.
Oh, it was wonderful. The cheer you get from ordinary people. Because they know that, and also in those days, the war had just finished 1945, and England was on its way up, and it needs plenty of workers.
Cecil was an RAF aircraftsman doing his patriotic best for the Queen and the Empire.
I like a bit of adventure, and that was my fulfillment of it, by getting the chance to come to England, settle down, learn something, settle down.
The arrival of Cecil and his countrymen was also something that would change the capital's life forever, an influence which Southwark Council plans to commemorate later this year.
The impact has been enormous, not only in the population, in the language that was spoken, but in the arts, the music, the theatre that's been performed in the borough. All of that has been profoundly influenced.
The Windrush expedition was the gateway, socially and otherwise, to many West Indians. It was good. They won't regret that, coming over on the Windrush.
Memories of days gone by, happy times, reminders of a decision well made. In Tooting, this is Rebecca Smith for London Tonight.
Cecil Holness, good man.
Great guy.
It sounds fun, actually. They are going to organise these anniversary celebrations. If you would like to take part, the telephone number to ring is 01715257427. That's 01715257427. We'll give it to you again at the end of the programme.
Going to be a party and a half.
Certainly is.
When we come back this evening...
By George, England's tourist board flies the flag, but do Londoners care about our patron saint?
Plus, Boyzone top the bill in Hyde Park, and we've got the vital interview.
Oh dear, I just can't decide. What have you chosen? Excuse me.
Chicken popiats with wild mushrooms
and pesto. Had it last week. Delicious.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And probably an absolute godsend for the older man who's all at 6s and 7s in the kitchen.
Probably.
What are you having with it? Mediterranean vegetables. Dearie me, I can see you're in need of a few pointers. Now come up here.
For food lovers everywhere, Tesco introduced their new Finest range, a selection of foods made from the finest ingredients.
Thank you, Mr. Grossman.
Poor love, he's probably been living on tin sardines for years.
Tesco Finest. Every little helps.
We're putting real money into Evening Standard Easy Money wallets for the next 4 weeks, plus vouchers for hundreds of thousands of other prizes. What's in yours?
£50.
World Cup ticket. Concorde flights.
World Cup final tickets, yes! For your chance to win, look in ES Magazine on Friday.
Yes!
I have always had a dream of finding my sister again.
In 1975, thousands of Vietnamese orphans were flown out to new lives in the West.
I didn't know who I really was. Was I English? Was I Vietnamese?
Now, 3 of them return to Vietnam to trace their family roots in Children of the Ashes, Tuesday at 10:40.
Welcome back.
Still to come on the programme, sacrilege at Spurs. Oh dear, as Tottenham's best player says, arch-rivals Arsenal are the team to copy.
I think they really deserve what they get now. They work hard, and I think that's what we have to follow.
Not half. Before that, raise the red and white flag and grab an English ale. It's time to celebrate St. George's Day. But if you didn't realise today was the day to commemorate our dragon-battling patron saint, then you're not alone. St. George has such a low profile, the English Tourist Board has just given him his own publicity campaign.
Poor old St. George, this is what it's come to, an English Tourist Board stunt in a desperate effort to revive interest in him. While the Scots are avid for Andrew, The Welsh daft on David and the Irish get pickled for Patrick. The English seem to be left cold by their patron saint. Even on St George's Day itself, the motorists of Mayfair were having none of it. But then even someone as illustrious as St George shouldn't be going the wrong way down a one-way street. The Dragon, by the way, obviously couldn't make it. Despite the lack of any show of affection for the old boy these days, there are said to be signs of growing interest.
I think it's a kind of renaissance, you know. We want to perhaps relive the things in the past so we can formulate our ideals for the future, and that's what I think St George's Day is all about.
Well, it was time for St George to slay a pint or two, so it was into the St George's Bar at Brown's Hotel for, surprise, surprise, a St George's Ale. And then the awful truth came out. It's enough to make your Yorkshire pudding sag. Today's St George was a man called Pedro from Portugal. The English Tourist Board apparently couldn't find an English horseman.
I think he was Italian. That's what I heard, and it depends. Could be anyone. With a costume, could be anyone.
They say, well, St George was a Syrian or someone out in a foreign country. But I mean, I hope the Irish won't mind, but of course St Patrick was an Englishman. So we don't have to worry, it's the spirit.
By George, it's a sad state of affairs. He has a long way to go to win back the hearts of the English. No wonder he feels a bit of a martyr. In Mayfair, this is Hay Gordon for London Tonight.
A bit of news in brief now. Vauxhall car workers at Luton have voted overwhelmingly to accept a radical new labour and wage deal. Unions and management have produced a 3-year package on pay and working practices. Part of the pay deal is linked to the strength of the pound against the German mark. Bosses say the deal will secure the future of the plant.
The centrepiece of the £400 million Heathrow Express rail service has been unveiled. This morning, contractors officially handed over Heathrow Central Station and the tunnel linking it to Paddington to the British Airports Authority. When the service is launched in June, passengers will travel at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour, cutting journey times to just 15 minutes.
Some of Britain's biggest bands were named today as the big attractions at a giant party in the park. All Saints, Simple Minds and Natalie Imbruglia will be among performers at the Prince's Trust charity concert in Hyde Park. Also on the bill, the world's biggest boy band, Boyzone. And we caught up with them today.
It's billed the party in the park, and what a party. Boyzone will be a top attraction in a star-studded lineup. On Sunday, July the 5th, 100,000 people will rock to pop's hottest acts in Hyde Park. It's one of the biggest concerts ever held in central London.
Very excited. There's a lot of acts involved in it. I mean, 6 other acts and 12 more acts to be announced, which is like, it's going to be a terrific show for anybody to come and see it.
Boyzone is still the king of boy bands. 5 years at the top, their latest single is set to go straight into #1 on the charts on Sunday. But the Hyde Park concert will be a treat for all pop fans. All Saints, Eternal, Natalie Imbruglia and Simple Minds are confirmed, there to raise money for the young people's charity, the Prince's Trust.
Besides having a fantastic time performing on stage in front of such a large amount of people, it's for a fantastic cause, you know, so it's so much good being done with the one thing, loads of birds being killed with the one stone and such.
Read my mind and read my body too.
Also on the bill, new soul sensation Connor Reeves. His first major concert's gonna be a biggie. Scary stuff.
I mean, I can't even imagine what 100,000 people looks like, you know, a sea of people, so I'm going to give it my all.
The Hyde Park concert will go on for 8 hours in the afternoon. Boyzone say it'll be the most amazing event they'll ever play.
It's already a pretty impressive lineup for the July the 5th gig, and I understand that negotiations are still going on to get the Spice Girls involved. Details of all the other acts are to be announced, and everybody who'll be on stage will be giving their time for free for the Prince's Trust. In Leicester Square, this is Owen Thomas for London Tonight.